Bahamar's bidder finally revealed. Long lines and chaos at the road traffic department for the second straight week, and the leader of the official opposition accused of using Hurricane Matthew as a political football. We've got these stories and others. I'm your host, Nico Scavella, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis this week cautioned Prime Minister Perry Christie to stay out of F&M business over the latter's call for two F&M MPs to resist any attempts by Dr. Minnis to end their political careers. In an interview with the Tribune, Dr. Minnis said while the Prime Minister attempts to tell F&M MPs to resist him, he was certain that those living in Mr. Christie's constituency of Centerville will resist him in the next general election. Last week in the House of Assembly, the Prime Minister urged F&M Montague MP Richard Lightbourne and St. Anne's MP Hubert Chipman to resist with all their might any attempt by the opposition leader to end their political careers. Mr. Chipman and Mr. Lightbourne are among 6 F&M MPs who threatened to have Governor General Dame Marguerite Pindling remove Dr. Minnis as leader of the official opposition if the party did not set an early convention date. They, along with Loretta Butler Turner, Nico Grant, Theo Neely, and Dr. Andre Rollins, also wrote a memo to the party's Central Council earlier this year outlining Dr. Minnis' weaknesses and failures as a leader. Mr. Chipman recently withdrew his name from consideration for a renomination, saying it was clear that Dr. Minnis no longer wanted his contribution. Mr. Lightbourne has also previously said he would not be a candidate for the F&M in the next election, despite earlier saying he had plans to run again for the party. Mr. Christie also accused Dr. Minnis of keeping both sideline MPs in the dark on nonpartisan hurricane relief efforts for their respective constituencies. In response, however, Dr. Minnis cautioned Mr. Christie to stay out of F&M business and instead pay more attention to his constituency. Dr. Minnis criticized Mr. Christie's own acknowledgement that he had not visited the Centerville constituency neither during or after Hurricane Matthew, something Dr. Minnis said shows that the cries and needs of Centerville constituents post-hurricane fell on deaf ears. Hurricane Matthew's czar Shane Gibson this week accused opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis of spreading false information to gain political points, as he demanded the Killarney MP produce proof that the National Emergency Management Agency is giving preferential treatment to progressive Liberal Party supporters in the wake of the Munster storm. Earlier this week, Dr. Minnis said residents in Andros claim that NEMA is only buying food and supplies from stores where the owners support the government. He also said that there are no construction supplies in Andros and residents are anxious to begin repairs to their homes. In response, Mr. Gibson said he drafted a letter which was sent to Dr. Minnis asking him to formally state the name of stores operated by PLP supporters in Andros that were reportedly being patronized by the government. He said NEMA has not purchased anything like that, as all the supplies came out of New Providence with an exception. Mr. Gibson pointed to one instance in particular that involved a grocery store owner on the island who experienced flood damage and the government bought goods from her to distribute throughout the island. He said this happened during a recent trip to Low Sound, Andros, where the owner placed all her items outside of the store to dry. It was then that he made the decision to purchase the items to distribute to people in need, Mr. Gibson said. And in a letter dated October 26, Mr. Gibson reassured Dr. Minnis that the government remained committed to helping everyone affected by Hurricane Matthew. In that letter, Mr. Gibson requested that Dr. Minnis validate his claims by providing a list of PLP businesses that were patronized, as well as a list of F&M businesses that were not supported by NEMA in the wake of Hurricane Matthew. Mr. Gibson said should Dr. Minnis' claims prove to be true, immediate steps would be taken to rectify the situation and hold those persons responsible for their actions. However, it remains unclear whether or not Dr. Minnis has responded to Mr. Gibson's letter. Bahamar's original developer Sarkis Ismailian this week criticized the sale of Bahamar's assets to Perfect Luck Holdings Limited, calling the sale to the special purpose vehicle created by the Export-Import Bank of China an intricate fabrication. And nearly 2 weeks after making a bona fide offer to buy Bahamar, Mr. Ismailian, CEO of BMB Holdings Limited, said he found it bizarre that he has received no response to the superior proposal. In fact, in a letter addressed to the Vice Chairman and President of China Exim, Mr. Ismailian said not only has the bank not acknowledged receipt of the proposal, but nor has anyone associated with either the bank, the receivers, or Perfect Luck made contact with him. In a letter dated October 10th, Mr. Ismailian made an offer to purchase the stalled $3.5 billion resort at a price in excess of the current undisclosed bid. Mr. Ismailian said BMD Holdings is prepared to pay 100% of all substantiated Bahamian claims and all money owed to Bahamians and foreign employees. He also previously said BMD Holdings will drop all of its appeals and legal actions in effect within the Bahamian courts upon acceptance of the offer. 1 week after the proposal, Prime Minister Perry Christie urged Mr. Ismailian to work with Perfect Luck Holdings Limited if the resort developer is in a position to make a credible proposal to buy the property as he has suggested. However, Mr. Ismailian said it makes neither economic sense nor is it in the best interest for the future of Bahamar or the Bahamas that not one of these related parties have engaged with them to discuss the proposal.
Mr. Ismerlian subsequently urged the bank to engage with him to find a solution to the current impasse, help Bahar Mar open quickly and successfully, improve China Exim's economic position, and maximize value for other stakeholders. The Road Traffic Department came under heavy fire and criticism for the second consecutive week for the long lines and chaos that have come to define the rollout of its new $8 million digital automated system. The Road Traffic Department's automated system eliminates handwritten vehicle information disks in a bid to streamline the licensing and registration processes. The new system is also expected to make it easier for persons to license their vehicles and put an end to having to register the same vehicle every year. Since the first day of registration at its Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium temporary location last Friday, however, the Road Traffic Department has been besieged with complaints from irate motorists who all slammed the department for the lack of organization and the consequent long and in some cases confusing lines at various stages of the process. Additionally, there were also concerns raised by the Free National Movement that the government had re-engaged Deloitte & Touche for the registration process, notwithstanding the large recall of licensed disks that occurred during the last time the company was contracted. The FNM also claimed that senior permanent staff at the department had been sidelined in favor of temporary workers as the face of the department and the leaders of the automation process. The FNM also criticized the doubling in cost of the new system by Data Torque, which it said was initially estimated at $4.5 million but introduced at a cost of $9 million. Transport and Aviation Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin, in response, this week admitted the department did not anticipate the chaos and glitches with the new system, which she acknowledged was unacceptable. She said the department would roll out several measures aimed at combating the chaos and long lines at the department's temporary location, beginning with extended operating hours. However, Mrs. Hanna-Martin, as well as the Road Traffic Department, refuted all of the claims made by the FNM. The department, in a statement, said its hardworking staff had been working even harder as a result of the registration process, and as such said the FNM, quote, should not misrepresent their invaluable contribution in this historic and new paradigm in the business of our country, end quote.
After months of speculation and intense national interest, the identity of the company in negotiations to acquire Bahar Mar has been disclosed as Chow Tai Fook Enterprises Limited.
The Hong Kong company said in a statement this week that it has, quote, entered into negotiations in connection with the ownership of Bahar Mar, end quote. The conglomerate also said it will work with the government to conduct a phased opening of the beleaguered resort. The press release suggests that Bahar Mar's hotels will be managed by separate brands as originally planned and not by a single hotel operator. The company, however, did not disclose details about the terms of the transaction for acquiring Bahar Mar or the ongoing negotiations, citing an undisclosure agreement. Nonetheless, a company official said CTFE is committed to hiring as many Bahamian employees as it can to work at the Shutter Resort. Meanwhile, CTFE said the Rosewood Hotel, a subsidiary of the CTFE Group, will now be re-engaged to work with Bahar Mar. The Rosewood Hotel has had a relationship with Bahar Mar since 2011 as one of the originally selected operators for one of Bahar Mar's hotels. However, after the resort, under the direction of original developer Sarkis Ismerlian, filed for bankruptcy in a U.S. Delaware court in 2015, Rosewood requested that the court void its licensing agreement with Bahar Mar, arguing that its brand had been tarnished by its association with Bahar Mar. Nonetheless, CTFE also said that as part of the remobilization efforts, the company is already in discussions with other hotel brands previously involved in the Bahar Mar project, including Hyatt and SLS hotels. CTFE is owned by the family of Chen Tu-tung. Mr. Tung, a jewelry tycoon, was a Hong Kong billionaire who died last month, September 29th, at the age of 91. The year before his death, he transferred his personal holdings in 6 Hong Kong-listed companies to Chow Tai Fook Capital Limited. On his death, Forbes magazine listed him as the 3rd richest man in Hong Kong, with an estimated worth of $16.6 billion US.
Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website, www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook, Tribune News Network, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune242, or send us a tweet at Tribune242.